more murderers, rapists, drug dealers, and human traffickers out, and they're coming into the United States of America at a level like we've never seen.
That statement is more real now than it ever has been before, especially with the ongoing, strategically planned and allowed border crisis by the federal government via the so-called Biden administration that appears, or that claims to be having it all under control. The party, the Democrat Party, and the side of unity, peace, reconciliation, and healing. Remember all that garbage we were hearing in January at the inauguration that Joe Biden was somehow some kind of messianic figure that was going to heal the United States of America? How's that going, guys? Not going very well. So it looks like President Trump, and I'm just going to come out and say this on Twitter. Yes, when presidents are now no longer in office and they move on with their lives, they are still respectively called president. Okay, President Obama, President Clinton, President Bush. Okay, that's kind of like a tradition, kids. When presidents leave office, they keep the title out of respect, and you still call them president. Because you see all these woke tards on the left on Twitter like, you still see, he's not even president, and you're calling him president? It's like, yeah, it's kind of like an American tradition. When a president leaves office, you still call him Mr. President. Is it that hard to understand? Anyways, President Trump took a trip down to the southern border in Texas with Governor Abbott today, doing Joe Biden's job. Automatically, you're going to hear people say, well, Kamala was there first. She didn't even go down to the southern border. She went down to El Paso to a Border Patrol station, okay? You got Donald Trump doing Joe Biden's job, because I don't even know if Joe Biden even knows what's going on anymore. So we're going to get into that as well. And Gwen Berry, I know you guys have been seeing this all up and down your feed, this disgraced Olympic athlete that is protesting the national anthem because she claims that the national anthem is racist against black people. You don't believe me? I'll play that video as well tonight. But before we begin, my name is Drew Hernandez, so welcome to Drew Hernandez Live. Hopefully I'm one of your favorite podcast hosts here on YouTube. If you guys can do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel immediately, smash that like button, destroy that like button, and share this link. We're extremely deboosted. Look how low the viewership is with over 55,000 subscribers. It's not because nobody watches this. It's because YouTube doesn't want people watching this. That's how that works. So because of that, guys, please smash that like button, share this video far and wide, and toggle on the all selection when you hit the bell notification. But above all, guys, please, we are absolutely having we're having a tough time monetizing on this channel. So if you guys would like to support us, we are 100% supported by the people, we the people, that is you the people. Go check out the merch store. The link is in the description below. Go cop yourself a t-shirt, or for your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your son, your granddaughter, whatever. Support the show, or you can give a one-time donation on Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. The link is in the description too. Or we do Q&As at the end of every single show via Super Chat. So if you'd like to support me, drop a Super Chat now, or in the middle of the show, or at the end of the show. That is how you can support this show, because we experience a lot of demonetization and our viewership has been destroyed. So yes, if you would like to support us that way, and shout out to the DH Alliance, you can also join the membership section of this channel for as low as $5 a month to support independent alternative media. Moi, Drew Hernandez, here on this show. So thank you guys very much. This is the way. Here we go. So President Trump doing Joe Biden's job and Kamala Harris's job, going down to the southern border in Texas today with Governor Abbott in Texas, having a joint press conference. They met together with border officials, Border Patrol agents, even sheriffs that work that entire region. There's a lot of crazy things that were said, a lot of reports coming out, and it has nothing to do with politics. When you hear this stuff, every time, man, when I talk to Border Patrol agents, when I talk to sheriffs on the ground, I've gone to the southern border in Arizona, in Texas. The stories are all starting to come out the same. We were on top of this when it first began. Shout out to some of the journalists that are actually doing great work on the ground still. But a lot of the stuff that we've been covering from, the very beginning of the border crisis is stuff that is continuing and going on, and nothing is being done about it. But some of the stories you're hearing, I know I've been really big on the human trafficking aspect, and here's why, okay? When I started interviewing Border Patrol agents, some of these guys have been on Fox News, like I have. I'm not going to give names because for obvious reasons. But when I started conducting some interviews with Border Patrol agents at the beginning of this entire crisis, they were all telling me the same thing. And they would say, Drew, this whole thing, all right, it's a monster. And it's extremely complex because it's starting from foreign countries and it's coming into the United States of America. You have the drug trafficking. You have the guns trafficking. You have the sex trafficking. You have the human smuggling aspect. Okay, so when I was talking to Border Patrol agents, this is the advice they gave me. They said, look, just pick one thing and really focus on that. And project that and report that to the American people, because if you try doing everything all at once, it's going to be really tough for you because it's so complex. So that's what I've been doing. If you guys have noticed, I really hone in on the human trafficking aspect. All the Border Patrol agents, I take a look at it. You know, obviously it's a serious, serious situation in our country, but it's near and dear to my heart. But it doesn't mean that I neglect everything going on. And the reason why I say that is I want to talk about the drug smuggling issue, because the fentanyl issue is growing. It's getting worse. The fentanyl that's coming into the country is getting more dangerous. It's being laced with heroin. It's being laced with meth. And it's specifically one of the sheriffs that are stationed obviously in Texas today that was speaking to Donald Trump came out and let Trump know, not only are we seeing an increase in fentanyl coming into the southern border, because we're seeing the price of fentanyl go down. So what that means is because there's such a high quantity in it now, and it's just so accessible and it's easy to get into the country, it's not a high-priced, valuable, rare type of item where it's hard to get in, so we got to charge you more because of that for security purposes. Now that it's becoming more common, the prices are going down. And you listen to this sheriff, and I mean, this is something that's been going on for a long time, but this sheriff specifically cites to President Trump in front of the entire country in a press conference that since Biden has taken office in January, that the fentanyl operations have skyrocketed, okay? In comparison to January 2020 to, the numbers in 2020 to the numbers in 2021, he says, they don't compare at all. They're skyrocketing under Biden. What that means is that these criminal cartels are now advancing, making millions, billions of dollars, but the drugs are getting worse. They're getting more hardcore. But he specifically made a comment that I think every single American should take into consideration tonight, because this is illegal immigration is causing this. Okay? You cannot have mass illegal immigration and take away the guns trafficking. You cannot have mass illegal immigration and take away the human trafficking. You cannot have mass illegal immigration and take away the drug trafficking as well. So this is why people who are for mass illegal immigration, or just the influx of people, quote unquote, migrants, who we have no idea who these people are. They're not vetting these people, okay? You are enabling these cartel operations they're making about 14, not 40. I saw a report all over Instagram yesterday. I think it was like Students for Trump put out a video that said they're making $40 million a day. No, that's not true. That's misinformation. And that's how the left destroys us, because you put out stuff that's not actually true. It's not 40, it's 14. The cartels are making $14 million a day through their black market enterprises in the United States. Now, the reason why I say that is, if you are for the influx of quote unquote migrants that we don't know who they are, illegal immigration, okay, incentivized legal human smuggling, human trafficking in this country, it's taking place. Literally, I've documented this. In the early days of the crisis, I showed you quote unquote, Catholic charities that were stuffing little kids in the back of hatchbacks with no seats, taking them to hotels with God knows who is supervising these people in these hotels, and then throwing them on I showed you guys all this at the very beginning. So if you keep seeing this on your Twitter feed, that's cool, but we've been showing you this. I was with Alex Jones and exposed the whole thing. But you cannot be for the mass influx of so-called migrants that we don't know who they are without any vetting, and say at the same time, well, I'm not for human trafficking. I'm not for human smuggling. I'm not for drug trafficking. I'm not for illegal weapons trafficking. You can't say that, because they all go together. You cannot get rid of one. They all go together. So the reason why I say that is I'm going to play you guys some clips from the press conference. You're going to hear the sheriff himself. He states that the ones being targeted and hurt the most right now, since Biden's been in office, 2021, fentanyl skyrocketing, okay? 16-year-olds to 24-year-old Americans are the ones that are now being hurt the most, because of the fentanyl that is coming into this country. So I'm going to let him explain this to you guys. And there's also some clips of Trump speaking and the governor of Texas himself, Abbott himself. So take a look.
Dealers are now having large quantities of fentanyl. And not only do they use it in the pill press, which makes it look like a safe drug to the young people, they think it's something safe, is that they're also lacing it with heroin and methamphetamines and other drugs. And we have seen, for instance, methamphetamine since January, where it was $50 a gram on the street, to now about $15 to $20 a gram. So we're facing just an abundance of dope as it comes in. And currently, you know, as the governor said, it only takes 2 to 3 milligrams of fentanyl to kill somebody. And what we're experiencing in Tarrant County, way beyond the border, we're a hub. We know that we're a hub where we have cartel agents embedded up there that we're trying to locate and arrest and prosecute, and we're doing a pretty good job of that in some cases. But we know that as it comes into the county is that it does have an effect. And we're seeing a 50% increase in deadly overdoses this year. In fact, in the first quarter of 21, it was 3 times the amount it was last year with fentanyl overdoses.
50% increase in this first quarter. Okay, what that means is in the same time frame in 2020, January to now, the sheriff is saying now, same time frame, January to now, 2021, it's a 3 times increase. 50%. This is insane. All because of Joe Biden just allowing the influx of so-called migrants that are not vetted. Remember what I said? It all comes together. It all comes together. You cannot get rid of one or the other.
And, you know, to that end, the group of people that it's hitting is the 16 to 24-year-old group because, again, it appears to be a safe drug. They think it's a pharmaceutical drug because of these pill presses that they're using.
And they're letting all of their murderers, rapists, drug dealers, and human traffickers out, and they're coming into the United States of America at a level like we've never seen.
I've talked to people from in this region all the way up to Del Rio. Their lives and their property and their families are being overrun with the people who are coming across the border. I cannot tell you the number of people who have told me that they've had guns brandished in their faces. Their children live in fear about just playing in their own yard. Neighborhoods are overrun. Property is being broken into. Ranches are being destroyed. Yeah. And the federal government and the Biden administration does not care about it. As a result, Texas has to step up and protect the safety of our fellow Texans, and we will continue to do so. Yeah. And we know that the person who led the charge to get us here in the first place, a person who loves Texans, who loves America, he puts Texans and Americans first, and that is the man who began to build the wall, the man who did more to secure the border than anybody and any president ever has, and that is President Donald J. Trump.
You know, I say, all Biden had to do is go to the beach. If he would have just done nothing, we would have now the strongest border we've ever had. It was even getting better and better and better because it was all kicking in.
That's absolutely true. And to go to Trump's point, what people don't understand is it's not so much that Joe Biden has enacted certain policies that has caused this crisis at the border. He redacted. He reversed some aggressive immigration policies that Trump had at the southern border that was combating illegal immigration. Why? Because, listen, for all the woke tards out there, put your emotions aside, okay? You cannot, when you have mass influx of illegal immigration, okay, you cannot get rid of the human trafficking, drug trafficking, the guns trafficking, and the sex trafficking. They all come with it. Illegal immigration enables the black markets of every single one of these underground trades. That is a multi-billion-dollar business. So the reason why when Trump comes out and says there are rapists that are coming into this country, yes, and it's not just Mexicans. They do come from Central America. They do come from Guatemala. They do come from Honduras. They rape little girls. They rape women. They rape little boys on the way to even Mexico. So anytime you hear CNN play the famous clip of Trump saying, oh, he just said all Mexicans are rapists. No, he wasn't even talking about them. They come from other countries too. That's a fact. Pedophiles, rapists, murderers. That's a fact. And these people are flooding the country unvetted. You want to know how many people were apprehended in the month of May, according to Border Patrol? They send me a text at the end of every single month. They'll probably send me one tonight for the month of June. But I'll give you May. You want to know how many people? Around 170 to 180,000 people apprehended at the southern border, across the entire southern border in 1 month. You know how many gotaways there were too? That means how many people got away that they know about? 50,000 in 1 month. 1 month. This is 1 month. And this is continuing every single month, and it's not getting any better. It's not going down. And these people are unvetted. Unvetted. We have no idea who these people are. Because the Biden administration claims in front of the mainstream media, Kamala Harris goes down to Guatemala and says, don't come. Don't come. You go down to the southern border right now. The Border Patrol has been commanded, they've been ordered to take these people in, put them on a truck, take them to a detention facility, and then take them to the airport to be flown to wherever they claim to have family in this country. You don't believe me? I've already covered it many times. Go down there yourself. Because that is what's taking place. The Biden administration is lying to you. So why do I say that? The reason why I say that is, to go to Trump's point, these people are coming in unvetted, and that's very dangerous. We have no idea who they are, or where they're coming from. And the reason why I point this out is people need to understand when it comes to illegal immigration, like I said, all the other things are going to come along with it. The fentanyl that's coming into this country is destroying young adults in this country. You heard the sheriff himself. The reason why this is a problem is because the way that it's being created, the way that it's being distributed, the way that it appears to be is in a pharmaceutical pill form. I've seen this stuff before. So a lot of young people think it's safe. You can just pop a pill. It's fine. I don't got to do anything to my body and it'll give me a high. 16 to 24-year-olds, young adults, that's even teenagers, are being affected the most because of the Biden crisis at the southern border. Fentanyl has risen, okay? Not only the quality has gotten worse of the fentanyl, it's laced with meth and it's laced with heroin, okay? Not only is the quality even worse, but the sales are skyrocketing because the quantity is flooding the country. It's worse than it was in 2020, about a 50% increase in the first quarter in 2021. Listen, this is why this isn't about politics for me. This isn't about left. This isn't about right. This isn't about Trump. This is about Biden because he's the president and he's allowing this to continue, which is why I will continue to, preach that message from the rooftops so people know why this is happening because they don't do anything about it. But it's affecting Americans' lives. People are getting killed. People are becoming addicts. People's lives are being destroyed. People are losing everything because of these drugs. And these drugs don't care whether you're Republican or Democrat. This is not an issue. This should definitely be an issue where Republicans and Democrats can come together as one to combat something as horrific as human trafficking, okay? And the drug trafficking of fentanyl, deadly fentanyl, that's destroying the lives of countless Americans in this country. I really don't care what your politics are. I really don't care. If you don't have a heart and you can't sit here and say, listen, this is very dangerous for the country, and it's because of illegal immigration and the influx of so-called refugees that they're not even vetting, That's causing this. You'll say, Drew, well, what do you mean? Let me give you an example. Because I already gave you the numbers. There's at least 170, 180K that they know about, okay, that are coming to the southern border. The numbers are higher. It's probably somewhere around maybe 300K a month at this point, okay? People just flooding the southern border. This is how it works. The criminal cartels are extremely organized. Their communication systems, their electronics, the way that they move and function, it would blow your mind. The criminal cartels, they function with the drugs trafficking, the guns trafficking, but they use the human smuggling as a distraction while they make money at the southern border. I'll give you an example. Anytime you talk to a Border Patrol agent right now at the southern border, they will all tell you the same thing. We are outnumbered. We need more help. We are outnumbered. We need more help. We need more resources. These guys are beating us out here. And they know it. Here's why. Let's say you're at the southern border in Texas, or you're at the southern border in Arizona. Let's say you got about 5 Border Patrol agents to cover, let's say, 150 miles long. Let's say there's some border fence, and this is real in Arizona. Let's say there is some border fence and some border wall, and then there's spots where it's incomplete. What happens is the criminal cartels on the other side, the human smugglers, will work alongside the gun traffickers, will work alongside the drug traffickers, smugglers. They will send a group of maybe about 30 to 50 so-called refugees, migrants, to one location on the southern border. They'll send like 50 people all at once, just boom, 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 boom. So you only got 5 Border Patrol agents. So because Biden has reinstated catch and release, these people will walk straight into the United States, catch them, and take them to a detention facility, and then they will release them via some kind of charity or some NGO, or they'll take them to an airport to be flown to wherever they claim to have family. It's catch and release, literally. Give them a slap on the wrist, so-called court date. A lot of them actually aren't even getting that. They're just letting them into the country. That process will unfold where, let's say you only got 5 Border Patrol agents to cover 150 miles. The cartel sent a group of 50 migrants. And now because of catch and release, the Border Patrol agents have to apprehend these people because they appear to be families. Their attention has to be with these people, these 50 migrants. They have to book them. They have to get them processed, put them in vans, and take them to the detention facility. That's the catch. And then they're released when they're put on an airplane. That takes, let's say 50 people, take about maybe 2 hours. 2 hours at the least to complete. And you only have 5 Border Patrol agents all focusing on these 50 people at a region on the border that's 150 miles that they've been designated to cover, right? What's happening on the other end that's uncovered as well? While they're distracted over here, you know what's happening over there? Because they're outnumbered, you have drugs coming in, you have guns coming in freely, undetected. You think this isn't happening, bro? You think this isn't happening? You want to know why Border Patrol agents want a wall? They know people could dig tunnels. They know drones get flown over them. They know this stuff, okay? But you want to know why it helps them the most? I've asked them this because it stops the flow of cars. It stops the flow. The wall helps them so they have to cover less ground at the southern border. And the cartels take advantage of this. This is happening like freaking clockwork because of this administration. Go down there. I challenge you. Go down there where you see all these journalists. It's like the cool thing to go to the border now all of a sudden. You know, we went viral the first couple weeks, but now there's just a bunch of grifters that just want to get in on it. Just like the 2020 riots, right? Now it's the cool thing. But you go down there yourself. It's like clockwork, man. Like clockwork. This is what they're doing. And these drugs just flood the southern border. And the criminal cartels outnumber the Border Patrol agents, and that's how they do it. You want to know why? Listen, I asked a Border Patrol agent once, especially in Arizona, I said, why do you guys get so distracted? Like if they send some migrants over here, you're obviously, something else is going to go on down there, right? Why do you guys do that? He's like, well, we're outnumbered, but we've been ordered. We cannot leave them alone if they come with children. That's what he told me. So if they appear to be a family, does it make sense now why the men, the rapists, the kidnappers on the other side, they are instructed to find a kid so they can appear to be a family because the federal government has said if they're a family, then you take them in. Unvetted. This increases kidnappings on the other side. You don't believe me, man? People are like, oh, you're just a stupid Republican. I don't care about politics. I don't care. That's not why I'm doing this. That's not why I say this. It means nothing to me. Screw Republicans that use this for political gain. And screw Democrats that are voiceless and silent. Screw them both. I don't say these things to score political points or to get views or clout. This is disgusting. This is evil. My voice is necessary. That's what it is. I can care less about red, blue, Republican, Democrat, left, right. I don't care. What I am is I am necessary. That's what I am. Because these truths have to be spoken. And there's a lot of Americans out there that have no idea what I just broke down to you. And the Biden administration, so does it make sense to you why I get a little passionate and a little pissed off when you see Joe Biden stand up there and not even address it or acknowledge what's taking place down there? This thing is so organized, it would blow your freaking mind, kid, what these cartels are capable of doing. And they're in your country, by the way. They operate in the United States, not just in border states. It's a fact. When you see Kamala Harris go down there and act like they got it all under control, she acts like nothing is wrong. She doesn't even acknowledge it. Kamala Harris goes to El Paso, doesn't even go down to the southern border. She goes to a border patrol station. That's a joke. And the one thing that these border patrol agents need right now is support. Support. Not only financially, not only resources, not only equipment, not only technological support. They need the moral support of the government, that they know that there's an entity behind them that supports them to do their jobs. But we live in the era of what? Defund the police, lawlessness. So just like you're seeing the defund the police movement unfold, where cops feel like they don't have support, they all resign or go to a red state where they'll be appreciated and embraced. The same thing is happening with these border patrol agents. They're being demoralized. They want them to quit. That's exactly what they want them to do. They want open borders. That's what this is. This is a lot of people coming into this country, man, unvetted. Unvetted. I don't care what your views on immigration are. Unvetted people coming into this country should concern the hell out of you. But obviously the left doesn't think. They don't think. And it's a tragedy because Americans are losing their lives. You talk to angel moms. For those of you that don't know what angel moms are or angel families are families that have been victim of illegal aliens killing someone in their family. Someone that shouldn't have been in this country murdering an American citizen. Not only that, there's another side to the angel families as well. There are angel families where their family members fell victim to this deadly fentanyl that has come through illegal immigration. They're both together. I posted a video on Twitter. I covered the End Biden's border crisis in Arizona last weekend. Just hundreds. They had these banners up of just their photos, hundreds, possibly thousands of photos. People murdered by illegal aliens and people killed by fentanyl. Drugs that should not be in this country. And what are the origins of those drugs, by the way? Want to know? China. I ain't lying. Those are the origins. The fact that Democrats are silent on this is absolutely insane. American lives matter. American lives matter. Your life matters. I don't care what color you are. I do not care if you're black. I do not care if you're brown. I do not care if you're white. I do not care. Your life matters. And right now, since America is last, we have an influx of illegal immigration, people we don't even know who they are. So Americans are going to be affected by that. We have an influx of deadly drugs. We're not talking about marijuana here. Of course, marijuana's flying over. You got cocaine. We're talking about fentanyl that's laced with heroin and meth. Pure poison. Pure poison. And 16-year-olds to 24-year-olds are getting affected the most right now. 50% increase in the first quarter of 2021 compared to the first quarter of 2020. And don't tell me that that is Trump's fault. He ain't in office anymore. And what did Biden do? What did Biden run on? Class, all the woke tards out there. Biden ran, his immigration strategy was what? What was it? Reverse Trumps. That's what it was. That's what it was. Reverse Trumps and give 11 million undocumented DACA recipients in this country citizenship. That was his plan. That's all he needed, because you have so many woke tards are like, yeah, because they don't understand. You take away these aggressive policies, what comes? Illegal human trafficking, drug trafficking. How many times do I have to say this? But what do I know? Biden is responsible for this. He knows what he's doing. Because the transition team at the time warned the Biden administration, this is all on record, you can go research this yourself. The transition team warned the Biden administration, do not redact, do not reverse Trump's immigration policies, because if you do, you will have a massive surge and crisis at the southern border. Do not do it. What did Biden do? Reversed them. America last. Now all this damage is coming. And I hope all you Biden voters out there are proud of yourselves. Aiding and abetting. Literally aiding and abetting. Your vote is a testament to you being a collaborator with the Biden administration, who is collaborating with the criminal cartels by redacting and reversing these policies that were put in place to put a stop to all of this evil. Enjoy yourselves, Biden voters. Well done. It's a disgrace. If you guys agree with that, drop a 1 in the comment section below. I think people are sick of this, man. People are sick of this. Well, I think people are sick of this as well. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of Gwen Berry competing in the Olympics. She got third place, by the way. She's third on the podium. Is that racism? I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this viral videos. I'm sure you've seen the viral pictures. Gwen Berry, the national anthem was played at the victory podium, and she wasn't having it. Apparently, she's claiming that they told me that they weren't going to play the national anthem, and then I went up on stage and they played the national anthem, and so, that don't represent me because the national anthem is racist. Racist against black people. That don't represent me. So she protested and turned her back on the American flag as an act of protest, claiming that blacks are oppressed, while she's standing on a world stage representing a country that she claims oppresses her to not even be able to do that. Make sense? No, it doesn't at all. Well, anyways. So here's her on Black News Tonight, I think. I don't know. Some kind of black supremacist YouTube channel. Can you imagine if it was the other way around? White News Tonight? I mean, I'd watch it. Why not? It's America. I think it's Black News Tonight, and they were interviewing her about her publicity stunt and her attempt to gain clout, and this is what she had to say. Take a look.
I just want to ask, what is it about the national anthem or that whole scenario that made you feel so uncomfortable? Why didn't you want to, acknowledge that part?
History. If you know your history, you know the full song of the national anthem. The third paragraph speaks to slaves in America, our blood being slain and pilfered all over the floor. Mm-hmm. It's disrespectful, and it does not speak for Black Americans. Mm-hmm. It's obvious. There's no question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, you were quoted as saying that you didn't want to do that because the anthem did not represent you.
Really? No question, huh? No question. Well, apparently she used to love America, but now because it's woke season and you can become a superstar overnight by being woke, all of a sudden she's this cultural Marxist. She claims to be what was it called? An activist athlete, rocking the t-shirt, putting up the, the communist fist. That's the thing. It's a grift now, but we still got to talk about it. She'd be looking, I'm not going to comment on her looks, but let's fact check this woke, pampered, privileged athlete. Let's take this up. So when you look at the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, is the national anthem of the United States, right? The lyrics come from the defense of Fort McHenry, a poem written on September 14th, 1814, by a 35-year-old lawyer and amateur poet, Francis Scott Key, after witnessing a bombardment of Fort McHenry by British ships of the Royal Navy in Baltimore Harbor during the Battle of Baltimore in the War of 1812. So this is the perspective. Apparently he was captured watching this. There's different little context here and there, but the essential history of this story is that this individual was watching a grand battle against the British, the United States, British, big battle. That's what the song's about. His perspective, watching this thing, and the aftermath of it, and the victorious glory of the United States prevailing against the British during this time in the 1800s. So let's take a look at, you look at, everybody knows this. I'm actually pretty surprised. A lot of people don't know that the Star Spangled Banner is actually 4 stanzas long. Obviously, everybody knows this. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? We all know this, right? We all know this song. We all know that. But then there's 2 separate, 3 other stanzas. Now, the reason why a lot of black woketards say that the national anthem is racist is because of this 3rd stanza right here. And it says, and where is that band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country, should leave us no more. Their blood, now in the context of this statement, their blood, he's talking about who? The British, not black people, the British, that they are fighting against in the 1800s in the context of this great battle of Fort McHenry. Their blood was washed out, their foul footsteps pollution. Okay, the reason why these people hated the British, they wanted to enslave Americans, whether white or black. It was tyranny, okay? These people were fighting for their freedom to live. This is not talking about black people in context. It's talking about the British. Their flood has washed out their foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave. This little sentence right here is why people like Gwen Berry and these black woketards on the left think that the national anthem is racist, because they're ignorant of the actual context of the song. No refuge could save the hireling and the slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Now again, the interpretation, historically speaking, when you look at the national anthem, he's talking about this great battle against the British at Fort McHenry. And he's recounting from his perspective. You see him in first person, and you kind of see him look in retrospect. When you look at this 3rd stanza, he's speaking in retrospect. What happened when he saw the Americans really giving it to the British? Now, there's no evidence, there is no historical evidence to suggest that this was speaking about black people at all. There's no historical, you could search this far and wide, there's no historical evidence. There is historical evidence to suggest what the British were doing at the time. Remember what I said? The Americans were fighting for what? Freedom! The land of the what? Free! Home of the brave, okay? These men and women were fighting, spilling their blood for their liberation, their freedom against an authoritarian, psychopathic country, the British were insane. So, historically speaking, when it says no refuge could save the hireling and the slave, historically what the British were doing at the time, they were hiring, they were in cahoots with Germans as well at the time. So they were actually hiring people to fight alongside of them to not only capture, but to enslave and destroy Americans. Okay? They were hiring. That's what the hireling means. And then historically speaking, when the national anthem says, no refuge could save the hireling and slave. Now, the reason why a lot of historians will point to the word slave, because it's historically accurate to suggest that what the British were doing is they were having hirelings. They were hiring people to fight alongside of them from foreign countries, but they were also kidnapping people as well. And they would fight on behalf of the British, and they would kill Americans. It was the British were using people against their will. The Americans were fighting against this for their own slavery. That's what was happening here. It's this stanza, this verse in the national anthem has nothing to do with black people. Nothing whatsoever. It's actually talking crap against the British. Because they're the ones that enslaved people. You understand how stupid you have to be to sit here and say the national anthem is just talking about, spewing blood, black people's blood all over the floor. What the hell? What? It's like, well, why doesn't this song represent you? Because you got to know your history. It's like, you don't know your history, girl. Man, read a damn book. For real. This has nothing to do with black people. This is against the British and what they were doing and their crimes against humanity. Come on, dude. It's a freaking joke. These people are a joke. Let's take this down. Enough with the history lesson. But I mean, come on, man. It just blows my mind that these people are just. I'll say this. Number one, how are you oppressed? Okay? Because when people do this, when Colin Kaepernick, when you have these athletes that kneel, they say that the national anthem doesn't represent me because it's racist. They don't even know what it means. But number two, they protest the flag because they believe that this country is systemically racist. So they cannot honor the flag, honor the national anthem, because they claim that this country doesn't honor them because it's racist. Now think with me. If that were true, if white supremacy was as bad as they claim it is, it's the greatest threat, according to Joe Biden, in 2021, the greatest threat to this country, it ain't Al-Qaeda, it ain't Antifa, it ain't the criminal cartels. No, Joe Biden, the federal government has come out and said the greatest threat to this country is white supremacy. If that were true, someone please explain to me. I just need an answer. If that were true, if America was as racist as Gwen Berry claims it is, and that black people are oppressed, and that black people just cannot get ahead, and black people don't have a platform to succeed, someone please tell me how the hell is she on that platform? Someone please tell me how the hell is a black person representing the United States of America on probably one of the biggest world stages known to mankind, the Olympics? If America is so white supremacist and racist and oppressive against blacks and doesn't let them advance in society, how the hell is Gwen Berry standing on that Olympic stage representing a country she claims oppresses her and doesn't give her that opportunity to do so? Grifters, liars, frauds, they just want clout. They just want a name for themselves. It's not real. It's not real. None of it is real, because if it was real, she wouldn't even be on that stage representing a country she claims that oppresses her and doesn't give her opportunity. Woketard! Do you guys agree with that? Drop a 1 in the comment section below. And another thing I want to say too is, what kind of message does this send to little black kids at home? You see, this is what critical race theory has given us. You want to go through the non-pun intended mental gymnastics with critical race theory with me real quick? I could do it in under 5 minutes. The cultural Marxists, okay, they believe in something called the hegemony, okay? And what that means is a hegemony is just an old word for the power structure or those in authority, those who dominate, okay? This is what they learn in universities, critical race theory. The cultural Marxists believe that there's a hegemony, there's the oppressors, and there's the oppressed. This is the doctrine of their worldview. So right now in 2021, what they have defined the hegemony of being the dominant culture or the dominant those in authority is who? White people. Because white people are the majority. So right now in 2021, critical race theory teaches that the hegemony, the dominant culture that dictates our values, that dictates our culture, that dictates our traditions, that dictates our holidays, that dictates the way we live, that dictates our reality and what's real and what's not. The cultural Marxist, the critical race theory, has identified that as being white people because they're the majority in this country. This is their logic. So right now, when you're taught this, the oppressor is whites. They're the hegemony in this country. This is what they claim because they're the majority. They control it all. They control it all. And because they control it all, they oppress the oppressed, which is, in 2021, not only those who are financially unable, who are in poverty, but now they've included cultural Marxism, historically, has included race, gender, different classes in society. They bring in women to it. They bring in intersectionality. They bring in race. They bring in, obviously, gender. They bring in the LGBTQ. That's what intersectionality is if you're a white lesbian, you're a little further down the totem pole. But if you're a black lesbian, oh my God, because you're black, you're way down the totem pole. This is what they tell people. It's like, damn, this is racist, bro. What you mean? So it's like, because I'm brown in this country, I'm a little further down the totem pole because there's white male. It's like, they're like, yeah. Okay. And I'm the racist. Anyways, this is what they tell people. This is what they teach people as a worldview. And you want to know what's interesting about this? The cultural Marxists, they're so crazy that in critical race theory, they teach that the hegemony, the power structure, those who are oppressing are so powerful that they can even convince and brainwash the oppressed that everything is okay. Their whole reality of being oppressed and accepting all of the hegemony, or and in context of 2021, all the whiteness is actually okay. Listen, does it make sense to you now why all these woke-tards will call someone like me a white supremacist? Does it make sense to you why all the woke-tards will call Brandon Tatum, they'll call Candace Owens, all these minorities that don't agree with them, they call them white supremacists because in their critical race theory, cultural Marxist mindset, you've been brainwashed by the hegemony. You have bought into the oppressor's narrative. So you just haven't been plugged out of the matrix yet. So what does that mean? What do they call themselves? Woke. This is like crazy that people live like this. They literally live like this. Like people view the world like this. Okay? So now you've convinced black people. Isn't this crazy? Who's still the majority in this country? Whites. So now you have millions of white liberals and woke-tards running around admitting, this is how it starts. All the white liberals and all the white woke-tards run around admitting, this is true. We are white supremacists. We are the hegemony. We are the dominant. We do control culture. We do control values. We do control society. We do control traditions and holidays. We are the racists. So all of these white woke-tards run around admitting, millions of white people admitting that they're racists, okay? And then they run around telling minorities like me, we are the white supremacists. You listen to us. You are oppressed. And if you don't listen to us, you're just brainwashed by us. So you guys admit you're racist, and you're telling me if I don't believe you or if I don't listen to you, that I'm somehow buying into your hegemony? Buying into your narrative of white supremacy? You guys understand? This is like gives you a headache, right? It doesn't make any sense. Critical race theory is on the assumption, it begins with the assumption that the hegemony, the power structure, is the oppressor. With no facts, no statistics, they just say it. They're the racists. So now you got a bunch of white woke-tards and liberals running around telling black people that they're oppressed. You're on the bottom of the totem pole because we are the dominant hegemony in this country. You're on the bottom of the totem pole. You're oppressed. You blacks, you browns, all of you minorities, you are on the bottom. They are the white supremacists. They admit it. It's like creating it out of thin air. This is crazy, dude. Like, it blows my mind that people live like this. Anyways, my point is, what was I talking about? I was talking about, what does this do to a little black kid? Some major context, whole mouthful. So now you have a bunch of white woke-tards and morons running around admitting that they're white supremacists. Okay? So now you've got a bunch of white woke-tards running around admitting that they're white supremacists, telling minorities like me and Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum that we're brainwashed by them if we don't agree with them, okay? This is what critical race theory teaches, bro. So they're running around telling minorities that, you know, we're brainwashed if we don't agree with them, okay? And we've bought into their racism. It's essentially philosophically and psychologically what they're communicating. So now you have them intentionally telling blacks, telling minorities that they're oppressed. What does that do to a culture? What does that do to a people? And the worst part about it is that black people believe it. And the worst part about it is a bunch of Latinos, lesbians, homosexuals, you name it. The list goes on of the oppressed. They believe it. They just believe it. So they are being dictated by a bunch of white woke-tards, okay, university professors. They're still the majority, bro. Listen, you know why I say this? Because anytime I come out and I speak out against this, it's always freaking white people, bro. Always these white liberals on the left sending me all these crazy messages. I'm like, you guys are the racists, not me. You sound pretty superior there, don't you? Talking down to a stupid little Mexican like me. Look at you. Damn. The hell do I know? I guess I can't think for myself. I need some white liberal to come and show me how to think. You see how this works? I'm the one that comes out and says, no, you're an idiot. You're the real racist. I can think for myself. Thank you. What does this do to a generation where you have a bunch of woke-tards running around telling that minorities, blacks, browns, you name it, are all oppressed? And now this is how deceived they are. Black people actually believe it, that they're oppressed to the point of making an Olympic team representing the United States of America, standing on a podium, protesting the country that they claim oppresses them. Yet they're on a stage they claim is not a stage that they could ever stand on. That's what it does to a generation. And it blows my mind. Blows my mind. That's the real brainwashing, bro. Convince someone that they're oppressed when they're really not. That's the real mental slavery, bro. People know I'm right. And I'll leave it at that. Alrighty, guys, well, let's do some super chats. If you guys love me and love the show and would love to support alternative independent media, please drop a super chat below right now. This is how you guys support this show. I'm extremely deboosted, demonetized on this channel. It's very hard for us to monetize as an independent creator. Listen, if you love this show, drop a super chat or drop a one-time donation in the comment section. On through PayPal or Venmo or Cash App. The link is in the description below. If you leave a little comment on the app, I'll read it out loud like a super chat here on air. Or go check out the merch store. The link is in the description below as well. Go cop a t-shirt, support the show, support Drew Hernandez, support my work. I'm actually going on a ride-along with Sheriff Mark Lamb of Arizona next week, sometime next week. So if you guys would like to support me on that, please do so immediately. I would love the support. Thank you guys very much. Other than that, guys, if you guys love me and love the show, please drop a super chat below, and I'll give you guys some time to do that. I think we have one, right? Let me pull this up before I head out for the night. All righty. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. I really do. And I want to apologize if I can't make it. I think I went a few days without going live, but you know, I do commentate on a network. It's not my show. I go on different shows and I do some commentary. I do that all day. I do like 3-4 shows a day. Sometimes I go out in the field and I'm out reporting. So sometimes I can't always do the show. So thank you guys for staying with me. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you guys for being patient. I live a pretty crazy life, and not in a bad, sinful way. A very busy way. And I thank God for that, because there's a lot of work out there that I know people are looking for, and I've been blessed by God to have a job in media. So I do my best to keep up with this show, but I want to thank you guys for supporting. Like I said, the show ain't going anywhere, but it is still extremely demonetized and deboosted. So I really do appreciate you guys supporting me via Super Chat, or like I said, supporting me via through Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. The link is in the description below. So thank you guys very much. I really wish that I wasn't so suppressed here on YouTube. I really do. But, you know, this is where we are. This is where we are. Like I said, they ain't trying to help Hispanics, bro. Come on. What about me? They make it hard for me. I mean, if I wasn't who I am, I'd probably be blowing up on YouTube right now. If I was just some kind of homosexual trans or something, you know what I mean? If I jumped up on here, I was like, maybe I should do that to get in the algorithm. Hey guys, welcome to Drew Hernandez Live. Today we're going to talk about James Charles. And yeah, look at my eyebrow. You know, Drew Hernandez has let go. He has repented of his conservatism. I can't do this. I'm gonna become a damn meme, dude. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. We got some super chats. Let me refresh this real quick. All right, we have a super chat from CAD Stance. $5 super chat says, ha, 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 ha. Thank you for the support. Like I said, we truly appreciate it. We truly need it here on this show. Whether you cop a t-shirt or give a one-time donation through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all that good stuff, we just thank you guys for the support. We truly do. So we have another super chat from Damazy626. What's going on, man? We salute you. With the $10 super chat says, have a nice ride along and keep up the good work. Yes, I will be putting out some of this content. I'm going to try and book this ride along to be a few days long because when you do coverage at the southern border, you can't just go one day. So I'm going to do my best. Sheriff Mark Lamb is an awesome freaking guy, dude. I love, such a humble guy, man. He has such a dangerous job. A lot of people know who he is. And the first time I met him, I was like, hey, man, like, you know, I do a lot of stuff on the border. I've done a lot in, you know, Arizona, Texas, all that good stuff. But I would love to do a ride along with you. How does one go about booking that here in Arizona specifically? You know what he said to me? He's like, here's my phone number. Pretty cool guy, man. Pretty cool guy. So I'm very thankful to be connected with him. And, you know, this guy is the stories he tells. So I'm excited to document alongside of him. It's an honor of mine. Sheriff Mark Lamb, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we have some more super chats coming in. Sorry, guys. Okay, we have another super chat from Based Moons. We salute you, Based Moon, with the $5 super chat. Watched Alex Jones's footage of the border. Crazy. Yes, do you guys remember when I went down with Alex? It's freaking nuts. We were showing all that stuff. We've already showed everybody. The human smugglers with the so-called Catholic charities, putting them on buses, taking them to a freaking COVID testing facility, taking them to a Catholic charity, then taking them to a hotel to await to be put on an airplane, unsupervised. We have no idea who's who. I showed y'all this stuff from the beginning.
She said he posted more today.
He posted more? Okay, cool. That's good. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on down there, man. Anytime you go down there, you're going to see some stuff. You're going to see some stuff. But Alex Jones is great. I love working with him. I should probably text him today. We have another super chat from Damazi626, a $4 super chat. Damazi says, how concerned should we be about the Delta variant? Ha ha ha. You should be concerned about this whole thing, bro. I mean, if you haven't caught up by now that these people are like, don't wear a mask, it doesn't work. I'm quoting Dr. Fauci. Don't wear a mask, it doesn't work. Oh, you know what? Do wear a mask. Oh, you know what? Trump comes out and says, we're going to have a vaccine by the end of 2020. Remember when he was mocked for that? No, he's not. The hell do you think he's going to have a vaccine? That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Biden gets in office in January. We have a vaccine. Yay, we're distributing it to millions of people. Look at all of us. And you must take it. It's like, well, what if I want it? Well, you have to. It's like, can't I just wear a mask? Isn't that enough? I mean, it was enough before. No, you can't wear a mask anymore. Plug this in your arm and move forward with your life. What? So people do it. And now the variant comes out. Yay! Now that jab you just took in your arm means nothing. It's never ending, bro. Never ending. They're even telling some people to put a mask on again, even if you're freaking vaccinated. It's never ending, dude. It's freaking never ending. It's never ending. Yes, Alex Jones is a cool guy. So is Tim Pool. I'll say this about Alex Jones. I'll say this. And people who've met him and know him and have talked to him and hung out with him will know what I'm saying. Alex Jones is a freaking bulldog, right? Like, the guy walks into a restaurant and, like, everyone feels it. It's this weirdest thing ever. Like, total alpha energy. It's crazy. And when I'm with him and I'm walking, it's just crazy. It's like something I've never experienced before. But I will say this. Alex Jones is a total sweetheart and kind person. The guy the guy has a big heart, grand heart. That's why it sucks when he gets so demonized in the media, man, because the guy definitely has a big heart, a big loving and caring heart. Like, I know if something bad happened to me right now, I could call Alex and, like, he'd answer the phone, or if he missed my call, he would call me immediately and ask me what happened. How can I help you? That's who Alex Jones is. That's who he is. Okay, let's see. Do we have any more super chats? Sorry about that, guys. So yes, I will say that. I will. Definitely. That's cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you guys very much for tuning in tonight. I truly appreciate it. We do this show Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as much as I can. If I'm out reporting, I'll let you guys know in the community section, or if I have something else going on with the network that I help out with, I will let you guys know in the community section if I can't go live on a show. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell notification and toggle on the all selection, because you'll miss that. Also follow me on all my social media, on Twitter, Drew H Live, on Gab, Drew H Live, also on Parler, Drew H Live, and on Instagram, Drew Hernandez Live. Facebook, just look up Drew Hernandez or Lives Matter. You'll find me there. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to share this video far and wide. Smash, destroy that like button, guys. It means a lot to me when you guys share the content. Lord willing, I will see you guys tomorrow night. Stay free, America. You know, stay free.